Alright, what's up, dudes? Welcome back to Duty's Daggers, and this video is going to be about everything I got at Blade Show this year. It's been about a week since I've been back, but I got sick. I got the Blade Show flu, and finally, just today, feeling better. So, it's been a little while, but let's check out what I got, man. Uh, I made some pretty good purchases. Let's start with this right here. This is didn't buy the knife. I already had the knife, but I bought these scales at the OG Goat booth. OG Goat had a booth there. They make scales, and these are some really beautiful textured aluminum scales for this Cold Steel 8010. I'm not sure what they call this pattern. It kind of reminds me of a feather in a way. How there's like this central deal with like these flowy bits coming off. Really, really pretty. Super pretty. They also deleted the liners too. So no more liners. They're all milled out in there. It really doesn't feel hardly any heavier than it used to be, really. Which is surprising. I mean, it's already a big heavy knife, but it's really pretty carryable right now. And I'm considering getting a regrind done on this knife. It's just, I mean, look how thick that is. Look at the tip. It's a super beefy knife, which is, if you're going to do hardcore stuff with it, that's good. But if I'm going to be carrying it, it's going to be more for like a daily deal. So I'll probably, I don't know. I probably will get it reground. I also want to cut in a sharpening choil. It needs that. But man, it's a good looking knife, dude. And especially now, when it's paired with my 8015, which I also have OG Goat scales on. This is a pair, man. Look at these things. Look at these shiny beauties. Yeah, very cool. The 8015 is a little bit more of like an EDC knife, I guess. I mean, it's still big and beefy for an EDC knife, but it's a little more slim. The 8010 it's a beefcake, really, man. It's really a beefcake. The blade stock actually looks to be the same, at least very close. But just the overall profile, 8010 is a beefy boy. So picked up these scales. Next, this is not in order, but the next thing I'm showing you is this Flytanium pry bar. This was $10 at the Flytanium booth. And I've been kind of looking around for a pry bar to stick in my pocket. And I saw this, and I really liked the shape and the size and the price. So I grabbed it. $10, why not? It's titanium. It's just perfect, man. I've had it in my pocket for about a week now. Ever since I got back. And I've been sick, so I haven't been at work. Well, I worked one day. And even in that one day, I think I used this thing like 3 times. So it's already getting uses. If I need to pry something, I usually bust out my Leatherman and take out the flathead on there. And I use that all the time. But this is just easier. You don't have to take out your Leatherman, open it up, get the tool out. Just reach in your pocket and grab this. Chink. And you're good to go. Chink, chonk, chink, bink, whatever. Pry whatever you're going to pry. And you're good to go. I have my tweezers on here too, just because I get a lot of splinters. These are titanium tweezers. I found them on Amazon. Not Blade Show related, but I just keep them like this. So for now, this is what my pry bar is going to be. My pry bar situation. I might someday try one with like a clip on it, but I already have I have my flashlight clipped in my left front pocket, my knife in my right front pocket. And so if I'm going to have another thing with a pocket clip, it would have to be like a back pocket or maybe the coin pocket, fifth pocket. But I'm running out of space for things with the clips, so that's just sitting down in the pocket there. Next up, I bought this. This is a little fixed blade from a small maker. Never heard of him before. He had one of the smaller booths kind of in the middle of the room. KS Knives. KS. That's his initials. And I really wanted to pick up like a small fixed blade from a small maker. So I looked around and found this guy. I really like this thing, man. Um, I just think it's a great design. I really liked the super deep hollow grind on the blade. It's a little rough around the edges, you know. You could see just looking around it. It's a little rough in certain places, but the scales are done really nicely. I don't, some kind of burl wood there, and then you have like he took the time to do a separate wood on the bolster here and put a little put a little of this like white wood in between. So it looks real nice. It's a great size. I get a full grip on it. The blade steel is 440C, which I've actually never even owned any of. Uh, it's a pretty cheap uh, stainless steel, but if it's done right, it should be pretty good. At least for what I'm going to use it for, it should be perfectly good. Um, I am going to add a sharpening choil. It definitely needs that. Um, but yeah, man, I really like it. The sheath is pretty well made too, although I think I am going to try to make myself a little pocket sheath for it. Um, I do sometimes carry a knife like cross draw, um, but I've found that at work it's not the best because I'm like standing at well, not usually, a lot of the time I'm standing at this metal table, my fabrication table, and this is hanging like right by my belt buckle kind of, and it's just constantly banging into stuff and getting caught and everything. Um, so it's not the best way for me to carry a knife, at least at work. So I'm thinking pocket sheath might be the way to go for this guy. Um, but really cool, man. I wasn't able to find a website for him, but yeah, if you ever hear of KS Knives, check him out. And last, wait, you know what? Never mind. There's one more little thing. Let me grab it. Oh, it's in my pocket. We stopped by the Big Idea Design booth, and they actually gave me this to make a video on. This is their little mini pen. It's cheap, man. They were $20 at the show. I'm not sure how much they are online. I'll put a link to it. But then this is a really super duper lightweight pencil to throw in your pocket, man. I've been carrying this all week. And I think I'm going to continue to carry this because what I have been doing is carrying my other Big Idea design, my mini bolt action, right here, which is it's brass, so it's going to be heavier obviously than this one. But sorry, still kind of sick. I've been carrying this in my fifth pocket, clipped in there. And what happens is when I sit down or squat down, my leg kind of ends up pushing it out of my fifth pocket, and it's fallen out of my pocket a few times. I could just let it loose down in the bottom of my pocket, but I don't know, I feel like this is going to be better for that because it's more lightweight. It's around the same size, but this is just way lighter. So I'm going to try that for now. I've been just throwing this in my pocket with the pry bar, just like this, just throw it in my pocket, in the bottom of my pocket. And it's been working good so far. You just twist it, comes out, very simple. I like the finish on it. It's gotten a little worn in since it's been jangling in my pocket with this. It comes with a little bead up here. You can cut that off if you don't like it. But really cool, man. I'm actually liking it a lot. So that was the other little bonus thing that I got. Now we'll get to the big purchase. So the first day, I arrived at Blade Show on Friday afternoon. My plane got in at like 3:30. By the time I got over to the show, I think it was like 5:30. The show closes at 6. So I had a half hour, and I went straight to the small room and where the Grimsmo table was. Walked up and found the Rasks and the Norsemans, and I handled them, and I flipped the Rask, and I knew that I didn't know. I knew I wanted it badly, but it took me like 2-3 minutes to really make up my mind. It's a lot of money, about $1,000, a little over $1,000. $1,040 to be exact. Um, and no one spends that kind of money lightly. I mean, at least you know if your if your income is anywhere near close to mine. Um, and so it took me a few minutes, but I realized that it was time. I was going to do it. So I paid 800 cash, which is all I had, and then the rest on the card. Um, and I picked this up, man. Let's take a look. I've really wanted a Grimsmo Mill for so long. I watch almost all of his shop videos that he puts out on the YouTube channel. He really shows you the insane lengths that he goes to, him and his team over there. Um, all the just insane lengths they go to make these knives as good as they are. It's really just insane, and it makes you appreciate and love the knife even more when you see everything that's gone into it, all the detail work, all just the painstaking trial and error. And I mean, he's making these parts and literally looking at them under a microscope to make sure that they're perfect. Like literally, a microscope. This dude is, he's obsessed with getting as close to perfection as humanly possible. And as soon as you handle their knives, you really see, the result of that. So this is my Rask. It's number 2900, and it's freaking beautiful. Before we even look at the knife, let's look at this case. So this is a Nanook case that they did a collaboration with. You can see right there. So it's got their logo on the actual case. You open it up. They laser cut all these foam inserts in-house. They make all these inserts in-house. You got this specially cut foam insert with the logo on the top. And then you got this one on the bottom. Perfectly fits the knife. It says Rask in the corner. Lift it up. And you've got a bottle of lube and a T9 tool to disassemble the knife if you want. You have the COA. It's just a really nice case, man. I've gotten similar cases with knives before, but not this nice. Definitely not this nice. And here she is. This thing is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. They call it gold flake finish on this. Kind of reminds me of the Statue of Liberty, like oxidized brass or whatever it is, brass alloy probably. It's. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. Such a beautiful finish. This one caught my eye as soon as I walked up. I was like, oh yeah, if I'm buying one right now, that's gonna be it. Really nice, kind of frosty, reflective finish on the blade. Like a frosty stonewash, I guess. I don't know. Just making up words. Got all the info up here. Rask 2900 and RWL 34. Now check this out. This is the most drop shut smooth thing I've ever experienced, ever. Before I handled this, it was the Holt Morpheus was the smoothest knife I've felt, and this is just smoother. I mean, the Morpheus is incredible, absolutely incredible. This is just a little bit more, it's a little bit more smoother. This thing is perfection. I'm gonna do a whole video on it, going over all the really cool details. But for now, we'll just look at it and admire it. I mean, look how tight all these clearances are in here. Look at that. Just everything is so tight and very close, and even though it's so close, nothing touches. The blade's not touching the sides at all. Perfectly centered. They make all the hardware in-house too. You can tell it's custom hardware because they even milled like little dots around the circumference of the surface there. The detent is really nice and snappy. This is a great, I mean, this is not only a beautiful knife, but I mean, we're going to cut test this thing, man, and it's going to cut good. Really good. It is insanely thin behind the edge. It was, I think, 6 thousandths when I measured it. The choke up spot here is the flipper tab that's really, really super rounded off. Look at that. Really rounded off choke up spot. The sharpening choil area, even though it's small, is perfectly done. I mean, there's, you can tell it starts to get thick right around there. The fingernail is, and the edge termination's up here, so there's separation there. It's perfect. The bevel doesn't get wider at all when it gets down here. The grind is just done perfectly. It's a very thin bevel, edge bevel, because it's so thin behind the edge. Man, yeah, just I'm in awe. I'm in awe of it. It's definitely the nicest knife I've ever tried, ever handled. And even though I bought this within the first half hour being at the show, the whole time I was there, after that, I didn't find anything that I wanted more than the Rask that I had already bought. So that was good. It would have sucked to come across another knife and been like, man, I wish I hadn't bought the Rask. This is better. But no, that was not even close to happening. I freaking love this thing so much. So yeah, full video coming on the Rask. And we'll compare it to like the Rosie. I got a couple questions about people asking how it compares to the Rosie and how it would compare to the area. People want to know when they're shopping for like these expensive knives. They want to know how they compare to each other. So I'll answer those questions too, at least my opinion on them, in the full review video. So that's it. This is what I got at Blade Show. It was an absolute blast. We met up with some channel members, some other people that know the channel, just buddies. We hung out. We had food, ate dinner, and hung out, looked at knives. It was just a great time. It was really a great time. If you were there and said hi, thanks. It was awesome meeting everybody. And yeah, the only downside was that I got sick. And I honestly really actually expected to get sick because, how many people did I pass by within like 1 foot of them? Thousands. Between the Blade Show and the airports and the planes. I mean, come on. Bound to get sick. And I usually don't get sick. Hardly ever, actually. But yeah, it got me. But completely worth it. And yeah, I can't wait till next time. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like the video. Let me know what you think. I'll see you soon.